Hey guys, John Engel here, and I did a bad thing. Yes, I bought another car. Did I need it? Absolutely not. Did I get in trouble for it? You know I did. So, I want to throw all the blame to Rob Ferretti over at SuperSpeedersRob. He bought one of these about a year ago, and ever since I saw that video, I knew that I had to have one, and the opportunity came up, and I just kind of jumped on it without asking or telling anybody and just putting it in the garage. So, without further ado, let's take a look at what I bought. Well, now you know I bought a BMW Z3 M Roadster. I've always wanted one of these, and it's a car that's so different than what I expected it to be. I came from the Z4 to get a Z3, and I was thinking that they'd be very similar, and it comes out that they are totally different. And I think the best way for me to describe this is to take her out on the road, put the top down, like she should have, and give you guys a little feedback on the car and what I've thought so far of owning it. One of the greatest things about this BMW compared to my last is that the top actually works. That's amazing, isn't it? I now have a convertible that's actually a convertible. All right, let's get her out of the garage and go take her for a spin. Okay, so as soon as I get in the car, put the top down, start driving it, I love the way it feels, but it is a different feel than I was expecting. It has an older feel. Now, I know this is a 20-year-old car. This one's a 1999, but compared to the Z4 was light years ahead. It actually made it feel like a modern car. This one's got everything like AC, radio with the tape deck. It's got heated seats and everything works, and it's great in that aspect, but I don't think it was designed to make you feel plush and lavished. I think it was designed as a lightweight sports car, and that's what it does so well. This one has the S52 engine in it, so it's not all that peppy, but compared to the 2.5 liter Z4 that I have, this thing is a beast. And like I said, it's got some of that visceral feel that the Z4 doesn't have. This is going to make you feel more like you're driving a true go-kart. It's not feeling like I'm driving a modern vehicle. I feel like I have to be more careful. And it feels like it's got a lot more power. And I don't know if that's from the weight, the engine, or how they designed it, but it feels good in that aspect. Now, this one revs up to 7,000, and of course it has a manual transmission in this one, so that makes a huge difference in and of itself. My other Z4 was a automatic. The top could never go down, so you don't have the wind blowing in your hair, and this just gives me that feel that I was looking for. The main item that draws me to the Z3 is the styling. Now, with the M Sport, you get a more aggressive look to the car. It's got wider rear wheels, it's got a different grille, it's got a different bumper, different rear bumper, and it just looks more aggressive. I've always loved all of the Z3s, but this one in particular had the styling that kind of made it look like a little boy racer. And as we all know from my Cobra R, I love that style. I like it when it's a little more aggressive looking, sets it apart, but not in a way that you have to be ostentatious or anything. It just lets you know I'm a little different. One of the things that I love about this car is it's a free revving car. Now, it is totally different from anything American muscle because it doesn't have that low end torque to it. However, once you get past about 3,000 RPM all the way to 7,000 RPM, it is a beast, and it loves going in that range. In fact, it wants to stay there all the time. And when you do get a chance to get in that range, it makes this car such a fun car to drive. Much different than the Z4, especially that 2.5 liter that I had. I also owned a 3 liter, which was more comparable to this. But once again, it's the feel that you get in a car. It's not always about how fast it truly is, it's how it makes you feel. And if it feels faster and it feels more vigorous, then it is, right? Well, not exactly, especially not if you go to the drag strip and line up with someone in a faster car. But when you're just on the road and just cruising around, nothing feels better than this. It just gets up and flows so smoothly. You can't beat that, and the BMW M Roadster does it with flying colors. Now, would I recommend this car to someone? Probably. It's a good car. I wouldn't recommend it to someone just looking for a daily driver. It's probably not my favorite car to drive. Nice day. Today is kind of overcast, but it's 70 degrees out. It's a beautiful time for a Roadster, and this is a great car to drive. It kind of fits in that realm with the Prowler. It's an occasional driver and one that you can go out, have a little fun in, but it's not something that I would want to use every day. So in that aspect, I don't think that I would recommend this to somebody if it was their only vehicle. If you're looking for something to use on the weekends, this might be exactly what you're looking for. Now, when we start talking about these, we're going to start talking about price. These are substantially more expensive than a standard Z3. The M package brings it up to somewhere around the $12,000 to $15,000 is what you can find a daily driver version of the S52. Now, when you get into the S54, which is the later, I believe it's 2001, 2002, those go up substantially because they only made them for 2 years. They have a lot more horsepower in the engine and they're rarer. So you're going to pay $30,000 for a nice example of one of those. And it all depends on what you want. For me, this was exactly what I wanted. I didn't have to pay the premium for one, and I got to enjoy a Z3 at the highest level, especially for the year that it is. In '99, this is the highest Z3 that you could get. It's got the quad tips in the back, which became pretty much a staple of all the M cars that came out after it. And ultimately, I'm going to drive it for a while. I might keep it, might not, might end up going up for sale, but for right now, I'm going to enjoy it. The biggest thing that I will say is the difference between a Z3 and a Z4 are light years apart. It's going to be a totally different car than what you're expecting if you drove a Z4 before driving a Z3. If you go from a Z3 to a Z4, I think that you're going to be very happy with the upgrades and how modern that car feels comparatively. Now, if you're looking for something that is a secondary vehicle to take out and cruise, you might like that it feels a little more nostalgic, you know, and it's got some power, and I would go with the M version. Especially for $13,000, you really can't beat the value of this car. It's going to be one that holds its value very well, and in the future, I think we'll even appreciate. So leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Would you have bought this car? Yes or no? Make sure you subscribe. We've got lots of content coming in the future, and I'll catch you guys next time.